one of the things that strikes me when you go back and look at the historical numbers, whether it's the 1980s or the late 1990s, those growth numbers in GDP and jobs, they just feel like they're from another planet. Is this sort of the new normal, 2.5% growth, or is there any reason to hope that at some point in the foreseeable future we could get to really healthy 3+, maybe even 4% growth? Are there reasons that that's not a fair yardstick to have anymore?
I think that the 1990s saw rates of growth that were substantially higher than 3 and 3.5. So to use the 1990s as the benchmark probably is not realistic. But I think that we are seeing that in a year when there has been substantial headwind from federal policy. We withdrew the payroll tax cut as a matter of policy, and we have seen across-the-board cuts in sequestration take effect by default because Congress didn't enact a different alternative in terms of middle and long-term balanced policies. Cumulatively, it's been well over 1%, probably closer to a 1.5% drag on the economy. We're growing at 2% anyway. So the core economy is trying to grow faster than 2%. When it can get to 3 or over 3, I can't predict with precision. But it's on a trajectory that's clearly moving in the right direction. And next year, we're not going to have that kind of headwind coming from federal fiscal policy. So we could do a lot better. We could replace the sequester with a balanced set of longer-term savings and revenues. That would free up, 0.5% of GDP. But even if we were to not do that, we're not going to have another round of drag next year of the same magnitude. So I'm pretty optimistic that the core economy is trying to get to a better rate. I wish I could say 4 and 5 were numbers we could think about, but I don't think there's anyone predicting that. If the economy were growing north of 3%, we'd start catching up on the kinds of job creation that we really need to fully dig out of the hole of the worst recession since the Great Depression. We're on the right trajectory. We're making progress. We've created a lot of new jobs, but we still have more work to do.